William Shakespeare, often called the Bard of Avon, is regarded as the greatest playwright and poet in the English language and one of the most influential figures in world literature. His works, rich in poetry, timeless themes, and deep insight into human nature, have shaped literature, theater, and even everyday speech for over 4 centuries. He was born in April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire, England, with tradition celebrating his birthday on April 23rd, 3 days before his baptism on April 26th. The third of 8 children, he was the son of John Shakespeare, a glovemaker and local official, and Mary Arden, the daughter of a prosperous farmer. Shakespeare likely attended the King's New School, where he studied Latin grammar, classical literature, and rhetoric, an education that later influenced his writing. At the age of 18, in 1582, he married Anne Hathaway, who was 26 and pregnant with their first child. They had a daughter, Susanna, in 1583, followed by twins, Hamlet and Judith, in 1585, though Hamlet died at age 11, a loss that may have colored the darker tone of some later works. Between 1585 and 1592, there are no records of Shakespeare's life, a period known as the Lost Years, during which he may have worked as a teacher, a law clerk, or traveled with an acting troupe. By 1592, he had appeared in London as an established playwright, already attracting attention from rivals. When the plague closed theaters in 1593, he turned to poetry, publishing Venus and Adonis and The Rape of Lucrece, gaining the patronage of Henry Wriothesley, Earl of Southampton. When theaters reopened, he became a central member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later the King's Men, writing and acting in plays that would make him famous. In 1599, the company built the Globe Theatre, where many of his works were first performed. His early plays included comedies such as A Midsummer Night's Dream and The Comedy of Errors, histories like Richard III and Henry IV, and tragedies including Romeo and Juliet. Between 1600 and 1608, he produced his greatest tragedies, among them Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth, as well as celebrated comedies like Twelfth Night and Much Ado About Nothing. In his later career, he turned toward tragicomedies and romances, including The Winter's Tale, Cymbeline, and The Tempest, works marked by themes of forgiveness and reconciliation. By 1613, Shakespeare had largely retired to Stratford-upon-Avon, living as a wealthy landowner until his death on April 23, 1616, at the age of 52. He was buried in Holy Trinity Church, his grave marked with an epitaph warning against moving his bones. 7 years later, his friends compiled the first folio, preserving 36 of his plays and ensuring his legacy for generations to come. Today, Shakespeare's influence remains unmatched, with his works performed more often than any others in history, and his words continuing to inspire, challenge, and move audiences around the world.